Hey everyone, Tracy here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about my 5 top benefits of having a home-based business. So the one that I want to start off with is actually that you can save money by having a home-based business. When people think of their jobs, they often don't think that they have to put money in order to have a job, but the reality is there's things like your commute and the gas it takes to get to your job, your car maintenance, maybe you have an hour-long commute, or even if you're down the road, there's still that gas cost and that upkeep that you have to do in order to get to that job. Whereas when you work from home, that's an expense that you pretty much can minimize or cut out completely since the majority of your work is being done from your home. There's some other costs, like people who have kids have to send their kids off to daycare. That can be a huge expense and a burden on people. Whereas when they work from home, they have that ability to keep their kids home as well with them. So that can cut out that cost as well. Things like work uniforms, having to dress up for work every day. I know from our experience that can get pricey, especially if you work in a place that has business or business casual attire. Those outfits do add up over time. And so when you work from home, you kind of have that flexibility of some days you might work in your pajamas. Other days, if you want to dress up a little nicer, you can kind of choose how and when you want to invest that money into your attire. Whereas with a job, there's usually a pretty strict dress code that you have to follow, which means money that comes out of your pocket in order to invest in that. So that's my first benefit, is that you can actually save money having a home-based business. My second benefit is the tax benefits. Since you're working from home, especially if you're working predominantly from home, you're able to actually write off portions of different expenses that you already use, so long as you're actually using them for your business. So if you have a dedicated office space, like this is what we use primarily, then you're able to write off a portion of either your rent or mortgage, because this location, this room right here, is only being used for our business. Same thing with your internet, if you have a separate phone line, any kinds of office expenses, gas and travel expenses that are used for trips for your business, if you go to any kinds of events, those are all things that you can actually write off prior to being taxed on that income. So there's a huge benefit for a lot of people as well, compared to working a job where you're going to get taxed before those expenses and you write them off after. The third benefit that I have is schedule flexibility. Now this is a huge one, and this one actually has come in handy for me in the past few weeks. I have been a little bit under the weather, not really on my normal flow, and so being a home-based business owner, you can actually make up your workload whenever it's convenient for you. And so if you get off track, if you get off schedule, you can say, you know what, I'm going to put more time in over the next few days or over the next week to make up for that lost time. Whereas a job, you don't really have that choice. You have to report every day regardless, or else you have to use your sick or vacation time in order to call out. And so that's a huge benefit. The same thing is if your kids are sick or you want to take vacation time, you want to take an impromptu trip or something happens in your family, you can always make up your workload and have that schedule flexibility. Or if you're someone who considers yourself a night owl, you can get your work done at night compared to clocking in at a certain time at your job every day. So that's another huge benefit, especially for people who like that time freedom, who like that flexibility in their schedules. My fourth benefit is actually the startup costs for running a home-based business. Compared to a lot of brick and mortar franchise businesses, which have huge startup costs and they have a lot of monthly overhead, having a home-based business, you can usually get started for under $500, and it takes very little to maintain that business every month. There's really not many expenses that you have every month unless you decide to put more into your marketing budget, which is always a personal choice. But just to maintain that business, it's super affordable and a lot cheaper alternative than other types of businesses that you might be interested in starting. And finally, my fifth benefit is the ability to earn residual income and also earn income off the efforts of your team. This one is huge because, like I was giving the example earlier, there's going to be times in your life where maybe you can't work or you come down with an illness or something happens in your life that you can't physically put that time into your work at that point in your life. And having that residual income just makes it so that you can put the work in once and be paid over and over again for those same efforts, compared to a job where you're paid based on time. So if you don't report to that job, You're not going to get paid, so that can eat up your sick time, your vacation time, all of that, leaving you with little wiggle room by the end of the year. When you have a home-based business, you're able to still earn money even in times when you can't physically work. And so those are my top 5 benefits. I think they are all great reasons to get started in the home-based business industry. Even if you start part-time, these are benefits that can start affecting your family right now. So if you're someone who's looking to get into the home-based business arena, or you're currently in a home-based business but you're looking for some ways to grow it online, maybe to get some better results, I'm actually going to have a link right below this video. It's going to link you to our blog where you can learn more about us, get to know about the system that we use to market our businesses online, grow our business, and really create that time and financial freedom that everyone truly desires for their family. And with that, I will see you on the next video.